Welcome to the very first Lil Red and the Medicated Moose Show.
I'm Lil Red.
And I'm the Medicated Moose. We're husband and wife, singer, songwriters, and now podcasters, making it through the 9-to-5 adult life. What was that?
Take two.
Anyways, we're husband and wife, singer, songwriters, and now podcasters, making it through the 9-to-5 adult life. We're just trying to survive and trying not to screw up talking. Let's get famous!
Really?
Why do you drink too much? Why do you spoil when the dreams are made and the stars are chased seem so far away? We all don't get too long before we go. It's raising up, burning down. This mean old world just keeps spinning around and round and round and round and round and round and round.
Famous!
Famous.
Famous. You like that?
Famous.
I'm gonna make that a thing. Famous.
I thought of that like 5 months ago.
Anyways, let's go to the next part of the show, which also happens to be the first part. We know that you've all heard of the negative news out there in the world. It's all over the TV, the radio, and especially social media. There's always a new disease of the week, evil, and crime in the streets, and some new bills to pay. If it bleeds, it always leads. So here's some positive news that you probably didn't hear through all this static. Our first story comes from consumerist.com. John Oliver buys $15 million in medical debt, and then he just forgives it. The article talks about how on June 5th, 2016, on HBO's Last Week Tonight, host John Oliver took a look at the messy and incredibly shady world of debt collecting and debt buying. He talks about how hospitals are suing thousands of broke patients whose only crime was really being sick and poor. He also talks about how these debt collectors screw up all the time on if the debt was paid already, if it's past the legal time frame of having to be paid, and they also use illegal tactics in order to get paid. For a $50 fee, Oliver and his team registered a new debt acquisition firm called CARP. To quote Oliver, with little more to go on than a website, we were soon offered a portfolio of nearly $15 million of out-of-state statute medical debt from Texas, meaning this debt by law was so old that the person did not have to pay it. The asking price for this was $60,000, so around 0.004 cents for every dollar of debt owed. Purchasing this debt gave his debt collecting company the names, the addresses, social security numbers, and amount owed for nearly 9,000 families. To quote Oliver, so we bought it, which is absolutely terrifying because it means if I wanted to, I could legally have my company take possession of that list and have my employees start calling people, turning their lives upside down over medical debt they no longer had to pay. There would be absolutely nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that there's absolutely everything wrong with that. Rather than collecting on the debt, Oliver decided to stage the largest one-time giveaway in television history, basically doubling Oprah's "You get a car, everybody gets a car" show. He had all the debt sent to RIP Medical Debt, which is an organization that specializes in forgiving medical debt and leaving the former debtor without any tax consequences whatsoever. You know, it's an amazing, generous gift by John Oliver, exposing a debt system that feeds off the weak, sick, and injured, and helping almost 9,000 families in the process. This also shows how inflated medical prices have to be if they, meaning the hospitals, are willing to sell it for fractions of pennies on the dollar. You know, debt seems to be the enemy to anyone that wants to live a creative life, or any life that you want, in that matter. If you want a life by your design, debt's the enemy. It's the thing that makes you have to work that job that you hate and put everything you love on that back burner. These people really had no choice because of medical reasons. You know, just try to realize and think about how evil that is, that somebody gets sick and then they're screwed for life. And now, Lil Red.
Ex-NASA man to plant 1 billion trees a year using drones. A drone startup company called Biocarbon Engineering wants to start using drones for good, using the technology to seed up to 1 billion trees a year without setting a foot on the ground. Currently, 26 billion trees are being burned down every year, while only 15 billion are being replanted. According to former NASA engineer and CEO Lauren Fletcher, the only way we're going to take on these age-old problems is with the techniques that weren't available to us before. By using this approach, we can meet the scale of the problem out there. Biocarbon system from planting is much more sophisticated than the traditional dry seeding by air. First, drones fly above the area and report on its potential for restoration. Then they descend 2 or 3 meters above the ground and fire out pods containing They fire out pods containing seeds that are pre-germinated and covered in nutritious hydrogen. We need to get those for our garden.
Yeah, that sounds way easier than digging with one of those garden claws. Yeah, we're gardeners. We're that awesome.
With 2 operators manning multiple drones, he thinks it should be possible to plant up to 36,000 trees a day, and at around 15% of cost traditional methods. The company hopes to have fully working versions by the end of the summer.
Man, I just want to pause a minute and just give you applause.
I made it.
Tiffany is so worried. I mean, Lil Red is so worried about reading stuff.
I can't read.
You have no idea how much I'm forcing her to do this podcast for the good of mankind. She just
Thanks, Brian.
I think she has a future in news reporting.
I'm right.
She's
there.
got the body and the looks and now the voice. So, I think it's amazing. These drones aren't just for peeping into people's windows.
That's why I got one, but now I know I can use it for my garden.
Yeah.
Well,
at least while you're looking at people in their windows,
yeah.
You can also plant some trees because we kind of need trees to breathe. And using technology for the good of the earth, it just seems like a really smart hippie thing to do. So, those are the news stories that should have made headlines. Do you have some positive news stories that we should talk about? Probably we're going to have more than 2, but it's our first show, so shut up. Let us know by email. Our email is lrmshow, that's Little Red Medicated Moose Show, @gmail.com. On Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/LRMM-show. That's Little Red Medicated Moose Show. Or on Twitter, follow us as @LRMM Show. And just hashtag it LRM LL. See, I'm not cut out for the news. I have looks and whatever. Hashtag it LRMM Positive News, or hashtag it whatever the hell you want. Welcome to Little Red and the Medicated Moose's Acoustic Corner. This is where we learn and play some of our favorites and maybe some of yours too. Mostly ours because we're kind of jerks like that. Here's a small clip of the song that you can find on YouTube this week. It's by the Avett brothers. It's called I and Love and You. It's for the ladies and for the lovers out there. Here's a little clip and listen closely.
Look the same. Brooklyn, take me in. You and the shape I'm in. My hands they shake, my head it spins. Brooklyn, take me in.
Man, I don't know about you, but that's romantic as fuck. Yeah. Hey, Tiffany, do you want to tell them where they can request their favorite song?
Sure. You can request your favorite songs by emailing us at lrmmshow@gmail.com. You can get us at Facebook at facebook.com/LRMMshow. / Or Twitter at LRMMshow with the hashtag LRMMAC.
Hashtag. You only need one hashtag.
Oh.
Hashtag LRMMAC to request your favorite Acoustic Corner song. Let's move on!
All day long, we're here again. Smile and talk and say nothing. If you show 'em what's inside, they should be offended. Mess up once or twice. Here are the things we love.
Love!
This is where we share everything that we found in this crazy world that we call love. That we love.
Here are the things we love. First thing, and I'm just going to go first because, gentlemen first. First thing I would love to take a minute to talk about is my current music/songwriting hero and probably man crush, Chris Stapleton.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got the beard, he's got the hair, he's got the voice. I know his album has been on a while, so I know a lot of you jerks out there are like, geez, is this like a show from like 5 months ago? He's won all kinds of awards, but this is our first podcast, and it's my first chance to talk about it, so I'm going to profess my love to Chris. So I've been following this guy ever since I heard his amazing voice as a lead vocal for the Steel Drivers, another great band that everyone should check out, by the way. And I've been following him ever since. I came to love the idea of being a songwriter because of Chris. The thought that this guy was writing #1 hits left and right, like Drink a Beer, Love's Gonna Make It All Right, You're a Man, just to name a few. He was doing all this, making a living, having a family and a wife. I can't tell you how happy I am that he's finally getting the recognition that he's deserving of, because he's finally chosen to step forward, and that's the only reason it took so long, because he decided to stay in the background. I just hope that he can handle the spotlight after so many years of working behind the scenes, because it's a huge difference for his family and everything like that. He's coming to our original hometown of Sioux City, Iowa, at the end of July, and you better bet I have my tickets ready. I couldn't quite swing meet and greets, but honestly, what do you say to a man that motivates you and your dreams for that matter? I would just shake his hand, thank him for his talent, and thank him and his wife for their time away from their children. And, if you, for whatever reason, have been an idiot and never listened to Chris Stapleton, do yourself a favor and go buy his album Traveler and look him up on YouTube. You will instantly fall in love, and you will not be disappointed. Make sure you tell him Lil Red and the Medicated Moose sent you as well. Love you, Chris.
Well, you can't tell anyone, but I've kind of got a thing for Elle King. I saw her for the first time in Omaha. For starters, she walks out wearing leather pants and a belly shirt. What a badass. And then she starts singing. Her voice. Her voice. It'll give you goosebumps. Before the Moose and I play a show, I'll listen to her music to remind myself that it's not about perfection. It's about singing from the soul and pleasing the souls around you.
She oozes sexy, and it's really good. I mean, but you guys have probably all heard her massive hit X's and O's. That's how I heard of her first, and you trust me, you need to hear all of her songs on her CD. You and me love every single. Yeah,
she's great.
Her CD's called Love Stuff, which is also a great name. Go out and buy it. Tell her how Lil Red and the Medicated Moose sent you, especially Lil Red. She's got a thing for Elle King. That needs to be a shirt too. The last thing I want to talk about is a book I'm reading, and yes, I can read. It's called Big Magic. It's called Big Magic, Creative Living Beyond Fear. It's by Elizabeth Gilbert. I guess you can say one of the few reasons this podcast is on the air is because of this book, and because of me pestering my wife. It is an amazing guide to live the type of life that we both want to live, and that's a creative life. It basically proposes that ideas are living things all around us, looking for someone open to receiving them and making them a reality. How they explain coming up with the same idea or a very similar book or the same invention or the same song as someone else at around the same time. I feel like I've had this experience happen to me. I swear to God, I wrote Stephen King's 11/22/63 in my head before he did, but I ignored the idea and it went on to someone else. Stephen, you jerk. At least it makes me feel good to think that an idea might choose me or at the same time as Stephen King, because I'm a genius like him, right? Right. Ego, you got to brush it. This book also helps someone that seems hell-bent on being a tortured artist. Trust me, I've seen a lot of them, and I've tried to fall into that trap myself. You have the choice to be a tortured artist, but trust me, it's so much better and easier to be a happy one. I can say this book has helped me decide for sure that my life will be a creative one, and yours as well, right?
Yeah.
Elizabeth is most known for her huge hit, Eat, Pray, Love. I've never read it, but she really caught my attention during her TED Talk. And when I found out she had a book that was based around it, it was basically an extension of the TED Talk, I had to buy it. If you're a creative person, love art in any way, and feel a little stuck, do yourself a huge favor. Pick up this book and make sure you tell Elizabeth that Lil Red and the Medicated Moose sent you. And if you guys have some suggestions for things that we might love based on what you've heard here, let us know by email, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm not going to say them again because that's just excessive.
Stayed up all night to write a song.
Every week we want to tell you about an inspirational person. These are people that have inspired us to do great things with our lives. Just remember that wherever you are, we're meant to do more than spending time in a cubicle at a thankless job, so do something amazing.
Our inspirational person this week is Dashrath Manji, and I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But Dashrath ran away from his home at a young age to work in the coal mines in India. He returned to his village and soon found a wife. Ooh la la. One terrible day, she slipped and fell and seriously injured herself. Then, unfortunately, because of the injury, she passed away. There's a mountain range that separates Dashrath's village and the medical place. They couldn't get there quickly enough. As you can imagine, this crushed his entire world, and that very night that his wife died, he decided to carve a path, to start at least carving a path through the mountains so that his village could have easier access to medical attention. After 22 years, he only used a hammer and a chisel. He carved a path 360 feet long, 30 feet wide, and 25 feet high through the mountains. He shortened the distance between his village and the nearest town with a hospital from 55 kilometers to 15 kilometers. Manji died on the 17th of August in 2007 at the age of 73. I just want to let you know, if you died, I would carve a mountain for you too.
You would?
Yeah.
Even if it took you 20 years?
Maybe if it was 15. If it was getting to 20,
that's crazy.
maybe I'd carve a small hole, maybe not a huge path.
To bury me in?
But I don't know about that. But anyways, the reason we bring this up is you don't have to be a celebrity to be inspirational. This guy took a personal tragedy and turned it into the energy that he needed to help generations of people in his tribe, in his hometown, and that's just an amazing thing to me. So let's move on without further ado to our last and final thing of our first episode. Are you excited for this? This is like the coup de grace of our final episode. This is what people have been waiting for. But the last thing we want to do on every show, we want to do an artist spotlight. This is the Lil Red and Medicated Moose Band's artist spotlight. This is the part of the show where we want to put an artist on the spotlight. We'll play their music, read their poetry, talk a lot about their book, or talk a lot. Or we can tell you where you can see their latest artwork. We might even show some of it on our website whenever I make it. The world is full of amazing people that struggle to get anyone to pay attention to the things that they create and put their heart into. If you're an artist and would like to share your original art, email it to us at lrmmshow@gmail.com. Since this is the first show and we don't have any submissions or any friends, our first artist will be us.
Woo!
Yeah, this is Lil Red and the Medicated Moose Band out of Elk Point, South Dakota. Yeah, we haven't mentioned yet. We live in Elk Point, South Dakota. I haven't seen one elk yet.
Nope.
We love it, but there's definitely no elks or points. This is a song off of our debut EP that we released in February of this year. You can find the album on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, places like that, all the regular places. But the way to purchase it and leave the most money for us, so that way I can eat more food and I can buy fancy cheeses for me, is by buying the album on our Bandcamp site.
Like cheesecake.
Yeah, cheesecakes. We can buy expensive cheesecakes for Lil Red. Our Bandcamp site is lrmshow.bandcamp.com. Again, that's lrmshow.bandcamp.com. This is the way you can buy it and leave us the most meat on the bone. If you enjoy what you hear, whether it be the music or the podcast or both, hopefully both, make sure you tell your friends, subscribe and give us a rating and a review. And please, if you are an artist, this show is here to help you spread the word too, not just to help spread our word. Let us know how we can help and we would love to hear all of your feedback. Without further ado, here's the best looking band in the world. This is Don't Matter by Lil Red and the Medicated Moose Band. I can't even say our own name. Lil Red and the Medicated Moose Band. We will see you next week, folks. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.